A very good evening to you and welcome to Rwanda Television News with me, Sam Kalisa. President Paul Kagame has reiterated that the objective of the Rwanda Defense Force is to use its capacity not to attack any country but defend Rwanda against any threat to her security and sovereignty. The Rwandan head of state also added that anyone who threatens the country's security will be dealt with and pay a heavy price. His Excellency Paul Kagame, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Rwanda Defense Force, made the statement while commissioning 721 new officer cadets who joined the Rwanda Defense Force on Monday. Serge Nore has this report.
The pass-out took place at the Rwanda Military Academy in the Eastern Province, and the President commended the new officers for the courage and zeal that enabled them to complete the course, encouraging them to properly fulfill their duties as RDF officers. You have now begun a journey on the path of leadership in the Rwanda Defense Force. You must always remember that your primary duty will always be to serve Rwandans, your parents and relatives, your home areas. This is a heavy responsibility and you must give it its due value. The RDF has continued to build itself up and provide support where it becomes necessary.
The
best performing cadet this year was Alphonse Niyibaho, and he and his colleagues say they are proud to now be RDF officers. Dreams of joining the RDF began when I was young after hearing of the exploits of those that came before us, and I wanted to emulate them so that we can continue building up the Rwanda we want. I dreamt of this when I was young because the military looked good to me, and later I realized that the greatest gift you can give your country is to dedicate your life to serving it. So I came and I did what most girls think they cannot, so the impossible became possible. We are all very happy about this, but what is most important to me is the message from Afande His Excellency, the Commander-in-Chief of the Rwanda Defense Force. What he said is important to us, as he received us into the RDF family, reminding us of our responsibilities and that we must not fail in them. So I am happy and I can affirm that we are all ready to carry out the instructions Afande gave us. The parents of the graduating cadets were particularly proud at the pass-out. You know that these soldiers carry out many responsibilities, which is why our country is among the most secure in Africa. I am therefore very happy that my child is able to join other Rwandans in protecting the security of this country so that it is not destabilized at all. The RPF in Inkotanyi rescued me during a difficult time in my life, and I am now proud to have a child in the country's armed forces so that he will also be able to save other children of Rwanda. 6 of the new officers conducted their courses in Kenya, Belgium and Sri Lanka, while the remaining 715, including more than 70 women, were at the Rwanda Military Academy. Of those 715, 209 have been awarded a bachelor's degree in social sciences, medicine and mechanical engineering, while the remaining 506 completed a one-year course, 347 of those being regular soldiers before joining the course, and 159 former civilians who already had a bachelor's degree when they joined the military. The reason we are building that capacity, obviously, is so that Rwanda can have security, and we can use that security to develop. Also, it should be clear that any threat made towards us would be dealt with accordingly. Anything that would try to infringe on our sovereignty, whatever it is or wherever it may come from, that would be when we would wish to use those capabilities. We do not want to use them beyond our own borders to terrorize or harm anybody, no. We instead work to protect ourselves from anything that may threaten us. Additionally, it should be understood that it would not go well for anyone seeking to destabilize our security, our sovereignty. It would be a costly endeavor for them, and the price would be higher than they had anticipated. That is as far as increasing our military strength, but there is also the ability to be able to assist in security building elsewhere when our help is required. The Rwanda Military Academy began awarding university degrees in 2015, coupled with lessons in military science. The academy also features other faculties that will see their current cadets graduate in the future.
Thank you, Serge, for that report. Now, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. Vincent Biruta, on Monday was received by his Belgian counterpart, Sophie Wilmers. They discussed views on Rwanda and Belgian cooperation, as well as other subjects of common interest at the multilateral level, in particular the European Union and African Union, how to continue fighting COVID-19 and the revival of economies. During his visit to Belgium, Minister Biruta also met with Jutta Opinion, the European Union's Commissioner for International Partnerships, and discussed the European Union and Rwanda partnerships and the production of COVID-19 vaccines in Africa, among other subjects. The minister also met with Joseph Borrell, the High Representative of European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, and exchanged views on the African Union and European Union summit preparations, as well as the peace and security situation in the Great Lakes region. And into other matters, the cooperation of correctional agencies in Rwanda and Zambia is expected to yield tangible results in the correction programs in both countries. This was said during a meeting between the Commissioner of the Zambian Correctional Services, CG, Dr. Shilese Shisela, and the Commissioner General of the Rwanda Correctional Services, CGP, Juvenal Marizamunda.
Deliberations between the commissioners of the correctional services in both countries are aimed at jointly reviewing how the cooperation agreement signed in December last year would benefit both sides. The cooperation agreement signed last year was ratified this Monday. The Commissioner General of the Zambia Correctional Service, CG Dr. Shisela Shilese, said the current working visit to Rwanda will be productive.
Rwanda has been a champion of correctional services in Africa. And so we are always proud of Rwanda Correctional Service. Our colleagues that we meet, when they are pushing issues, you have to know that there's a high level of understanding on how the change from prisons to corrections should be a reality. And so we've been moving together as a service, and that's why we could not hesitate to sign the MOU with Rwanda.
The Zambia Correctional Service Commissioner General also held talks with the Minister of State in the Ministry of Justice, Solina Nyirahabimana. The Commissioner General of the Rwanda Correctional Service, CG, Marizamunda Juvenal, said the good relations between the two countries is the key to the cooperation between the correctional services in both countries. The cooperation will enable the exchange of knowledge on better management of prisoners and detainees. Rwanda Correctional Service spokesperson SSP Peli Uwera Gakwaya says the cooperation between the two institutions is expected to benefit both sides.
They applauded
the level of technology used in Rwandan prisons. Because we use IECMS, which they will learn from us. They also wondered how prisoners in Rwanda have health insurance. They are ahead when it comes to research, and we will learn that from them. We will cooperate in many things so that agencies of both countries can perform well.
The Commissioner General of the Zambia Correctional Service, CG Dr. Shisela Shileshe, also visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial in Gisozi and paid homage to the bodies of the victims of the genocide against the Tutsi, and also learned the history of the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda.
Living outside Rwanda, At times we get so many stories, conflicted stories, depending on who comes to tell you the story of what transpired. But coming here is knowing the reality.
Officials in the Zambia Correctional Services are on a 7-day working visit to Rwanda, during which they will visit various prisons in Rwanda.
Into other matters now, grain traders, especially importers, have expressed concern over the high cost of testing for aflatoxin. They claim that at the moment they are charged 178,000 Rwandan francs. Most of these are marketed year-round in Kigali city and outside the country. These include maize, sorghum, and soybeans, all able to carry aflatoxins. The Rwanda Inspectorate Competition and Consumer Protection Authority, RICA, has asked traders to acquire machines for aflatoxin testing. RICA says that from May 31st, 2021, it will be prohibited to receive, process and harvest grains, legumes, cassava, animal products and animal feed without testing to determine the aflatoxin level they contain. And of course, into other matters, the Joseph Habineza, who lives in Karongi district of the Western Province of Rwanda, had his leg chopped off in 1994 because he was caught hiding those who were being hunted for extermination during the genocide against the Tutsi. What was done to him by Interahamwe was meant to discourage other people from doing as he had. Joseph had gone on record to say that he made the decision to save lives, whatever the consequences, and therefore hid more than 20 Tutsi, including a couple and their 6 children, as the genocide against the Tutsi raged on. After the killers found out that he was hiding people and came and cut off his leg and nearly killed him for what he had done. Despite his best efforts, most of the people hiding in his house were dragged out and killed, including almost all of the family of 8, that except the father, Jean-Marie Vianney Nkurunziza, who survived and says he wishes more people had done like Joseph Habineza did when the fastest genocide in record was being committed. Though Joseph had remained sad that most of the group of the Tutsi he hid did not survive, he was still able to later help others to cross into what is now the DRC, and they did leave. Because of his extraordinary courage, Joseph was presented with a medal by President Paul Kagame in 2007 for his role in the campaign against genocide. His wife was killed by assailants in 1995, but he was given cow to help him with his welfare, and FARJ, the Genocide Survivors Assistance Fund, even built him a house because he was demolished. His house was demolished, rather. He is one of the many Abarinzi Bigihango in the country, protectors of the pact, who risked their own lives to save the lives of the Tutsi who were being killed in the 1994. And moving ahead, some parents in Kicukiro district point out that the lack of adequate nutrition for both them and their children has been root cause of children's malnutrition. They say that training they have received in preparation of balanced diet meals has helped them to cope with the problem. Jedu Mwadi has this report.
In Kagarama sector in Kicukiro district, about 40 malnourished children from poor families are provided with nutritious food. Their parents say it was a difficult issue for them. My baby has recovered. He was in the red category, weighing 1.5 kilograms at 6 months old. He was born at 2 kilograms. I used to go for the baby's vaccination and they would tell me that he was not growing. They would tell me to eat nutritionally rich foods, but because of availability, I could only eat what I saw, which of course meant my child would not gain weight. Now, he is healed. He weighs 11 kilograms and he is 2 months away from turning 3 years old. My baby was born at 3.8 kilograms, but started to lose weight, and I did not know what the sickness was. Now, he weighs 10.2 kilograms. There was a time he weighed a kilogram. He is 4 years old and in great health. The parents say they are taught about a balanced diet and how they can use it to take care of their children. They taught us to cook food that provides one with energy, fights against disease, and helps build a sustainable body. I learned how to grow things in my kitchen, which makes sure I always have vegetables at home. You're much more aware of food you've prepared for your child. When you're not able to get milk, you can prepare an egg for the child. Give them sardines or even bigger fish if you can get it and boil it for the child. When I get the opportunity, I keep more vegetables. I had started planting and growing them at home behind the house after they taught us how to grow them. At Amazing Advent Health Organization, in collaboration with Kichichiro District, 40 children with malnutrition are being cared for. At the launch of Kichichiro District Health Week, the district executive administrator said that taking care of their children's nutrition is an important lesson parents should take away from this. What we learned from researchers about malnutrition is that most people are unaware of how to properly prepare a balanced diet. The importance of this is to remind parents of the necessity of a balanced diet and its help in building a strong immune system, a healthy body, and providing daily energy. Disadvantaged families are helped through other programs. Children are given milk and other supplements to help them get back to better health. Healthcare Week in Kichichiro District has the theme of better health, as it is a source of pride when you have it. Umngari Drade, RTV News.
And on behalf of the entire news and technical team, thank you very much for being with us. My name is Sam Kalisa. Have a good evening and a fruitful week ahead.